underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early.
Time after time after time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
Eggs, my brother.
No. Don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing around it.
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early.
Time after time after time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
Eggs, my brother.
No. Don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing there frowning.
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early.
Time after time after time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
Eggs, my brother.
No. Don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing there frowning.
Hey, what's up, y'all? We got a lot to unpack today, man. My gosh, just gonna be a full show, man. Hopefully we can get it all in. You know what I mean? Who we got in the building, man? What's up? Keno, Edgar. Birdman. Dub. Edgar, I appreciate you doubling back, man. Man. Yeah, man. So we here, man. I appreciate you guys coming through tonight, man. Yeah, man. Welcome to the show, man. We got a lot to unpack, man. It's been a lot of bullshit on the internet, people fighting and going back and forth, Deion Sanders. Whoo, we got a lot to talk about tonight. This is gonna be a fun show, man. What's up, Alvin? AD, man. AD went for what? 57 and 17? What, some shit, something crazy like that? I'm glad. Personal foul. Oh, that's weak. Anyways, man. We got a lot to unpack. Where should we start, man? What's up, Jerry? Where should we start? And I know this is, and feel free to come in with your difference of opinion, man. Like, that's the beautiful thing about here. This is probably one of the few platforms where you don't have to chat. You know what I mean? And they feel free to come in, man, because I know Deon got us kind of excited. You know, Deion Sanders going to Colorado was bigger than any NFL game today. You know what I mean? I didn't watch no NFL game today. You know what I mean? I was literally hunting for Deion Sanders at Buffalo and in Buffalo. And I watched the press conference. I watched his speech to the football team. And it's just been amazing, man. It's I'll save that till we get like 150 people in the building. But what else? Tank Davis and what's his name? Tank Davis and Devin Haney. They went back and forth. Adrian Broner lent what he saw. And that's where we're at. It's fight week for Terrence Crawford and BLK Prime. Introduction to boxing, man. Congratulations to Blue Blood. I think this is a week where we celebrate Blue Blood, man, and it's just a beautiful thing. Blue Blood went from social media to actually help being an asset to a fight card. I think that's absolutely beautiful. What we ask for is elevation. You got people with YouTube channels that cover boxing that's never been to a boxing match. You got motherfuckers on YouTube that talk about people and will never do interviews, will never see the person. So I think it's just beautiful that Blue Blood went from as he said, working 3 jobs, being a co-host on Dante's Boxing Nation, building, he has the biggest platform in boxing, I would say, in America. You know, one of them. Commentary. Fight Hype is afraid to do commentary. You know what I mean? They just lean on interviews, which is their style. I'm not mad at them, but they don't do commentary. They don't do personality driven commentary. You know, their opinion on shit. They don't do that. I'm proud of Blue Blood, man. I really am. And I've disagreed with Blue Blood on some shit. I disagreed with him in World Combat Sports. I text him and I said, I don't like the shit y'all doing on the internet. I text both of them. I don't like the shit y'all doing because y'all covering fights. And at the end of the day, y'all gonna need each other one day. And I told both of them that. And at the end of the day, Blue Blood got 8 or 9 kids. He's married. He comes in here with a high level of integrity. He has a great level of self-respect. He doesn't curse like me. He doesn't have a foul mouth like me. And he's elevated his last name. And we talking pro-black. He's working with a black man. You know what I mean? It ain't Al Heyman going. It's a big difference. See, I'm not hating. I'm telling the truth. Okay. And I need you guys to listen to me. Al Heyman is not the owner of the money of which he gets the money from. Do you understand what I'm saying? He got the money from the Redstones. He got the money from Fox, and he got the money from Waddell and Reed. It's a big difference, man. And I'm not saying this hastily. I'm just spitting the truth, man. And you got a man by the name of, God, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. He's gonna have to do some interviews, man, because I'm drawing a blank on his name. But he's owner. He's putting up his money with other partners. He may have white partners. He may have Mexican partners, but it's his money, and he's putting it up for the betterment of boxing. And I'm giving him the same blind faith that I gave Al Heyman, and it's way less blind than it is with Al Heyman, you know. But I'm excited, and I wish them well. And if they fuck up, Fred don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? If they fuck up and start disrespecting the fighters and the fans, we gonna use this platform to let them know that they fucking up. You understand? And that's just how I feel about it. And I hope that you guys go out and support it. I will be buying the fight. I'm actually gonna watch. This is the first pay-per-view. Even when I go to pay-per-views, what's up, Don? Even when I go to pay-per-views, I don't watch the first fight or the second fight. You know what I mean? I watch the co-main event. You guys know I run around and get interviews because it's easier to get interviews then, because everybody's leaving at the end and it's hard to catch up with people. So I'm running around getting interviews. But this is be the first card in a long time. The first card in a long time where I watch it from beginning to end. And you say, why? Because I'm interested in their production. I'm interested in the commentary. I know of some of the hires that they had. I heard it through the grapevine that I'll tell you guys what I know, what I believe to be true or a source. You know what I mean? I heard Ellie's working with him. You guys know all that this week. Let's see. Who else? Fuck, I'm drawing a blank on their names, but I think they got some familiar faces doing a commentary. I heard some names. I don't know this to be true, but I got a call from Vegas, and they told me that and is it Antonio Tarver? Don't quote me on this because I'm drawing a blank. No, I'm not. I don't need no credentials. I'm not covering fights, man. And I told you guys Thursday why I'm not covering fights, man. Home is where I need to be. And as of right now, until I can take Lincoln to fights with me and I know he can be comfortable on the side of me for 15 minutes and can hold his own, that's when I'll start covering fight. Because I'm not covering. I want to take Lincoln with me now. You know, I think it's time for you know, got to be a father, man. And I understand the responsibility that I created. You know what I mean? No, we ain't talk about Deoin yet. We're gonna talk about it in a second. And let's see, Paulie. I got a call from Vegas. They said Sean might be on to something, and you know, so on and so forth. Paulie, Sean. That's what I heard. I don't. So we'll know more. We'll know more as we move forward. But no, I don't want no credentials, man. And I wish them well. I wish BLK Prime well, and I wish Terrence Crawford well. You know, I told you guys the information I got from PBC, I passed it on to Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? And I would do the same thing for Earl Spence. I'm not the guy to hold secrets that's going to hold another man back, especially when I have no dog in the race. You know what I mean? Even if I didn't have a dog in the race, if I knew someone was robbing you, I would tell you they're going to rob you. I would tell you, but I say don't destroy me in the process, because I'm the spook by the door. I'm the one that's going to free all the black people. You know what I mean? Or no, I shouldn't say black people. The compromised people per se. You get what I'm saying? So, so that's where I'm at with that. What else we got? So that's where I'm at. So congratulations to BLK Prime. I'm excited. I want to see what the press conference looks like. Adrian Broner will be announcing his opponent Friday or Saturday. I don't know who he's fighting. But we'll find out Wednesday or Thursday when that fighter flies in, and everybody will put 2 and 2 together. It won't be hard. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll find out then what else we got before we get into the topics, man, because the topics is just gonna take over the show. Uh, but that's it, man. That's what I got. So you guys, this was a hot weekend because I think I was probably DM'd well over 75 times, and between Tank and Devin Haney and that stuff. I'm gonna say what I got to say about this. When I open the phone lines, you guys can go anywhere with your comments, concerns, questions, whatever. But I'm gonna say this. I was there that night in Vegas, not at the how you say it. I wasn't at the how you say it. I wasn't at the sparring. I was literally at the elevators. I was at the elevators when Adrian Broner and his team was leaving. They had on green jumpsuits. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I knew where they were going because I had got a text. And like I told you guys, when you in the MGM and you on the side where the weigh-ins are at, you got to go all the way around to get to your car. But I made a mistake and told you that my car was in the parking lot. I was wrong. My car was across the street at Hooters. At the time, it was called Hooters because you guys know I always stay at Hooters for $69, $79 as opposed to staying at MGM for $200, and I can just walk across the bridge. So the reason why I didn't go was because I didn't want to walk across the Hooters to my car. I said, nah, fuck it, I don't want to go, man. Because I guess a special select of people got the text, you know what I mean? And I was one of them, but I just didn't go. And so when I got, and that was the talk of the weekend. That was the talk of the weekend when they sparred. Oh, it was thick. And what Adrian Broner said was what I knew. You know what I mean? And was what I mean, I don't know because I wasn't there, but that's what they had told me. And then I said, and then I heard that Tank got tired, and then he walked out of the ring, and that's when Devin was getting the best of him. That's what I heard. You know what I mean? I heard Tank hit him with a shot, and a brawl almost worked out. That's the story that was told to me that weekend. I never told y'all this, but because I don't really care about the tit for tat as it pertains to sparring. You know what I mean? As it pertains to those two, you know, I really didn't care. And that's what I had heard. I didn't know it was a second shot when Adrian Broner said the second shot, but I did hear that he had knocked him out, and it was a brawl that almost broke out. I didn't know it was Adrian Broner that jumped in the ring. All I heard was a brawl was about to break out between Vegas and Cincinnati. And then they went on to fight, and then Tank gave up. That's what I heard. But moreover than that, what I want to say about that, the big story is the reason why they are a story. The reason why is because they're important. And what does that mean? You have power. You have say so. And I would rather the conversation be, how can we take over this sport of boxing? How can we manipulate Bob Arum, manipulate Al Heyman, and get everything we supposed to get out of this sport? What's the plan? Because we got to fight. I mean, for real. It's too many of these motherfuckers at the Sadie Hawkins dance talking about each other, wearing their Jordans and a choker chain. It's too many motherfuckers, man. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm tired of motherfuckers with choker chains doing interviews. I'm better than you. I beat you in sparring. No, I want power. Okay? I want power. And I want control. And that's what Fred believes in. And I just hope that They understand the big picture. I don't know if they understand it. I think they just want bragging rights on the internet. And this internet shit is cool if you're doing it right. You know what I mean? And I just really hope that Team Haney, Team Tank, Team Shakur, who else? Team Shakur, Team Tiafimo. Am I missing somebody at 135? Team Ryan. I feel like I'm missing somebody. But do it that way. You know what I mean? And part 2, Tank Davis. I want to say something to Tank, and I want to say this. Oh, I got to see that dunk. He got the dunk of the year. I'm glad Tank was at the game promoting the fight. He has a press conference tomorrow. And what else is going to say? Damn, I want to say this to Tank. Tank posted something which was stupid. All right. All right. I just think this motherfucker just dumb. You know what I mean? And who is controlling Tank? That's all I want to know, because I want y'all to see this shit. I really want y'all to see this shit. Okay, here it is right here. Let me share this. Give me a minute. It's going to take me 20 minutes to get in. 20 more minutes and open up the phone lines. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Here's what I want to say. I think this is fucking retarded. Tank Davis releases his negotiations with Eddie Hearn. Dear Javante. I'm pretty sure that's what they call him. Javante. Javante. I'm going to read this to you guys and I'm going to give you my thoughts. Okay. Further to our messages confirming you are no longer under promotional contract, we would like to make you the following offer for your next fight versus Ryan Garcia in February, March 2023 on the Zone pay-per-view. Guaranteed purse of $10 million, pay-per-view bonuses to be agreed. Look forward to hearing from you. As I said, I'm in Cleveland this week and will be happy to fly you out to discuss face to face. Thanks, Eddie. See, I knew Eddie had sent this to him, and I wanted, and I think I may have told you guys this in the show or something like this. I knew Eddie was gonna make an offer. I didn't know the particulars of the offer, but some people at the Zone filled me in on this, and I'm here to tell y'all, if you're gonna be a part of the system, if you're not gonna do it independently, do it to the highest levels. And I think Tank is being childish. You don't put Eddie on Front Street like this when the man is offering you a career high payday and he's willing to work with you, and don't destroy your options, man. You know what I mean? Like I told you guys, that's why I never showed you my ESPN contract. That's why I never showed you my Warner Brothers contract. I was offered millions of dollars, y'all. But I wouldn't post it. I'm gonna post it if I'm ever important enough to do a documentary on. Yeah, I may show it then. I'll be 80 years old and I ain't gonna give a fuck. But I wouldn't say I'm friends with those people, because I only play poker with them, and you know what I mean? I don't call them from time to time. I may call them once or twice a year. I called them when I wanted to get Paulie Malignaggi fired. And that's the one time I called my people from CBS at the time. And and I had some people that offered me a 6-figure deal for 9 wives, and I didn't sell it to them, you know. And I think I told you guys about that. If you follow me on Instagram, you know, Netflix wanted to buy my movies, and I told them no. Was it Netflix, Hulu, or Netflix? Y'all got to go back through my stories and watch. I can't remember which one it was, but I told them no. But what I did was I negotiated with them, and then I politely said no, thank you. All right, I politely said no, thank you, and I think it's important that we understand the big picture. All right. Our ego gets in front of our intelligence. All right. And I would tell Tank, don't ever do this shit again. And if Eddie Hearn is offering you $10 million and you're trying to embarrass him, that means you're part of a cult. That means PBC is a cult. Because if you're not willing to negotiate with a man that's offering you $10 million, because if he's starting a negotiation at 10, that means we can get it to 15. That means we probably can get it to 16, 14. Do you understand? That's his starting point. So that means he got wiggle room in that $10 million. But because we're immature and because the internet is more important than our intelligence, we rather be a nigga than a gentleman. And it's Al Heyman don't have $10 million for Tank. That's a guarantee. Al Heyman don't have $10 million for him. He can lie and say what he want. Nah, ain't nobody over there making $10 million. You get what I'm saying? And but it's damning that we're out of control. We're out of this weekend has taught me, not taught me, but helped me realize that we're out of order. We're out of order. And we got the undefeated, undisputed 135-pound champion on the internet wanting to prove himself. You're the undefeated, undisputed lightweight champion of the world. It's only you're one of one. You ain't got to prove yourself to nobody. And Tank Davis and all this bullshit. I think because we would rather be cool over character. Is Lincoln downstairs? Lincoln, are you downstairs? Come here. I just hear voices. I don't know where he's at. But I think we got to really put our ducks in a row because I think we're out of order. And it's incredibly important that we understand the big picture. I think many of us are short-sighted. All right, put that down over there. Come on this side. Come on this side. What? He and I had a conversation this weekend, which I thought was very profound and important. We were driving in the car, but before what's the quote I tell you about cool?
Character over coolness.
Character over coolness, and the Hawthorns live by. Okay, we're back now. All right. Okay, so let's start it from the top. Don't move my chair, please. What's the cool quote we use?
Character over coolness.
Character over coolness. But the reason why that's important is because he said something to me. We were coming back from basketball practice yesterday. Do you remember when we came back from basketball practice yesterday and you were in the car? And you said that I'm what?
Strict.
And he said I was strict on him, right? And what did I tell you at dinner today about the conversation about strict?
It's you. I don't know. I don't remember.
I said, who's the leader?
You.
Okay. And I said, when you become a father one day, you're going to have to understand.
The responsibilities that are hard that you're gonna have to do.
Say it again, please.
The responsibilities that are hard that you're gonna have to do sometimes.
Yes, because what I told him and what I told him is I don't live in a maybe sometimes. It's either yes or no. And everyone in this house has to be accountable. And the reason why that is important is because you guys, when I do the show, you guys think that I'm a coon or whatever you want to call him, but I'm very absolute in my real life. I'm very disciplined. I'm very structured, and the reason why I know it works is because of the character that Lincoln and Kennedy have. Oh damn! And I think that's the character. That's the character that we must display 365 days a year. We must have 360 decorum. And I think it's incredibly, incredibly important. I never tell Lincoln I don't know. I always say yes or I don't play with the I don't knows. I don't play with what's the A word I say you guys use? You remember it. What is it?
Amazing.
Yeah, you're amazing.
Accountable.
Accountable. Everyone is accountable, right? Just like I said, Lincoln, I said to you before we go to school, what has to be taken care of?
The stuff you need to do.
The stuff you need to do. But tomorrow morning, we have to do what before we go to school?
Take the trash out.
Take the trash out. There's not an excuse. I don't want to. That means he got to get up 5 minutes earlier to take the trash out. And you guys can go now. Love y'all. Okay. The reason why is not for being braggadocious or nothing like that, but it is the accountability. Accountability is not a white thing. It's not a black thing. It's not a Mexican thing. It's not a poor thing. It's not a rich thing. It's not a tall thing. It's not a short thing. It's a character thing. And when you are yes or no man and you live with that integrity every day, you're not going to see the internet as a place of home, as a place of work. We think the internet is a place of worship. Do we understand? A place of, we think it's just a place of worship where everybody is no. It doesn't work that way. And I think that we are out of order. When I listen to Tank Davis and Devin Haney and Shakur and it's a whole bunch of shit, man. You know what I mean? It's to me, it's cringeworthy. It really is. It really, really is. And I hope we understand the big picture. It's about power. It's about power. It's about integrity. And it's about ownership. And if Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Tank Davis go through their whole boxing career and don't own a piece of boxing, to some degree, they failed. I can't say they failed as a fighter, but Floyd Mayweather went through the whole thing of boxing, and Al Heyman paperworked him to death. He doesn't own anything in boxing. He owns Mayweather Promotions, which is basically done for. Do we understand? So I think it's just important that we understand the very big picture, man. And I think we could save Earl for tomorrow, but Earl Spence is going to be offered the bag to fight Terrence Crawford on the zone. I have no idea how much it's going to be worth, but it was in the Blue Blood interview. And I hope that I hope it works out for Earl. If Al Heyman has the bag, get the bag. If Steven Espinoza has the bag, get the bag. I don't know who has the bag, but if they're going to offer Terrence Crawford $10 million for this fight, there's something to it. And I hope that these two men can come together and see the big picture. Now for the topic at hand, which you guys care about, what I think about with Deion Sanders. And honestly, I'm going to take you back to my personal experience, because I had an experience real similar, but the exception, how can I say it? I got laid off. It wasn't about me getting, what do you say? You either get terminated or elevated. I got terminated. And I remember it was May of 2007. It was May of 2007. And I got my pink slip. I went to the office and they said, you're not coming back next year. Now, I remember it like it was yesterday. I just started crying and I was like, man, what about these kids, man? All I could think about was the kids. I wasn't really thinking about my $50,000. I think I was making $53,000 at the time. I wasn't really thinking, this is 2007. But I was like, man, these kids, man. I was probably I was the best teacher in the district, and so on and so forth. And I got laid off. And then you look at it now, and it worked out to my benefit. You understand what I'm saying? So I weighed both options, right? And Deion Sanders said that he's moving in God's speed. And I'm gonna tell every black person that can hear my voice, I'd rather be pro God than pro black. And I think that's where we lose sight of everything. Deion Sanders has won at every level. Deion Sanders was a high school All-American, a college All-American, an NFL champion. Next weekend, 2 weekends from now, he will be a college football champion. And who were we to say that God isn't talking to him? I can't say he's not. And the fact, and I'm gonna tell you what sold me. The morals and the values he's gonna hold these men to. He said no baseball caps, no earrings, none of that shit. Yes, sir, no, sir. And I'm like, damn, that's how I raised my kids. No hats in the house. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. Very respectful. We tuck our shirt in. We you know, and there's many other things too. He honored the woman he was with. He honored God. He honored his kids. And he remained himself simultaneously. And the other side, I'm going to say this. I don't know this to be, let me get the date. Jackson State. Jackson State has been around since, see, what we don't do is hold ourselves accountable. Jackson State has been around since what year? 18 what? 18 what? Since 1877, October 23rd, 1877. Now, let me say this. They had over 100 years to prepare a table for a man like Deion Sanders. I'm going to repeat that again, because what we don't do is hold ourselves accountable for when the man that comes through the door that's supposed to take us to the next level and we're not prepared. It's like a woman saying she want to be a wife and she's twerking online. A man that want to be a husband, but he's smoking weed and getting drunk online. And they had since 1877 to prepare for a man like Deion Sanders. I didn't hear no interviews from some Jackson State alumni. I didn't hear the SWAC president. I didn't hear the SWAC board, the Jackson State boosters. I didn't hear the local car dealership. You got to prepare yourself. The same way you got to prepare yourself to go to heaven. Jackson State had to prepare themselves. They had 3 years to set a table for who? Deion Sanders. And they knew that the big boys were going to come for him. So at the end of the day, if you're going to say he left those black kids, you also got to ask yourself, how come Jackson State didn't prepare? We're not talking about a whole how you say it? A whole conference. Shit. Those celebrities that he invited, they didn't help pay his salary. They took the benefits of being on the sideline. I didn't see no rappers from Louisiana. I didn't see no rappers from Mississippi or no celebrities from Mississippi or from the South saying, you know what? We're going to subsidize Deion Sanders and his coaches because we don't want him to leave. See, what we don't do is hold the other side of the coin accountable. And this is just my opinion. But I'm going to say this. We say, oh, Deion Sanders wasn't supposed to leave. But Snoop Dogg didn't come in and say, hey, I'm going to donate $100,000. Hey, Meek Mills, match me. Hey, Jay-Z, match me. Jay-Z is in the NFL. Black people got to do their part as well. Who the fuck wants to be a poor righteous teacher? I'm keeping it a buck. Who wants to be a poor righteous teacher? We got all this money in the black community. And we can't come together and pay this man $3 million a year? That's what I'm saying. We don't want to hold each other accountable. He built it. We couldn't sustain it. Young Dolph family didn't donate money, to my knowledge. Snoop Dogg was down there. He didn't donate money. I'm probably DJ Khaled went down there. He didn't. Now, what I will say is he's going to have to come to some solace with the kids he actually recruited. I don't know if that's a conversation. I don't know if I know that one DB, the Travis Hunter guy. I know he was the number 2 or 1 prospect in the country. I think him and Deion Sanders, they owe each other a conversation. You understand? I don't know if he's going to. He said the quarterback is coming. So his son is coming. I'm not sure about his other son, but what's his name? I'm trying to think of the other. Travis Hunter. I'm pretty sure he could play for any team in the country. So he's going to be going through the portal. So he's probably going with him, if I'm not mistaken. It only makes sense. You understand what I'm saying? So I do believe the people he recruited, he owes them a conversation, and he owes them he owes them a map to get to where he believes that they can go as together. And that's where I'm at with it, man. Because I was really, because when the news first happened, my first thoughts were, damn, it's hard. It's hard. I know it's hard on him too. And I know it's hard to stay at a school like Jackson State, but you got to stay. And then I started to think, then I started to see the big picture. I had a few conversations and I tried to see the big picture. And I'm like, shit, black people had 3 years to keep that man there. Black people had 3 years. I didn't hear Shannon Sharp. He went to Savannah State. I didn't hear him say, man, we got to keep him here. They got a platform. Stephen A. Smith went to North Carolina A&T, right? I didn't hear him say, man, black people, we got to do what we can to keep Deion Sanders at Jackson State. You know how big ESPN is and Fox is? They didn't do it. They didn't do it. So I think the big picture is we got to do our part to keep them here too. We think motherfuckers, you think the goal is to be black and poor? I think it's disingenuine of us to say, Deon, you got to stay and work for pennies on the dollar, because coaching college football is a 365-day job. That's all I'm saying. It's a 365-day job. It's like being a school teacher. You never stop thinking about your students. And I'm willing to think he never stopped. Let me let you guys in. He never stopped thinking about those kids. You know? And he said there's no crime in that city. No crime? Shit. Now, I'll be the first to say I would prefer it be at a HBCU, but the HBCU didn't step up. The HBCU didn't step up. Motherfuckers got to step up, man. What's up, Davion?
What's up, Fred? I mean, if you listen to what Deon said, at the presser, he got $30 million. He got $5 million in NIL money. The Colorado agreed. The AD agreed to give them money and resources to be able to help Jackson State out. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Deon had to do what he had to do, and he's taking his top players with him. It's like, what else do you guys want? He helped you build a program, so the people that's complaining ain't never gave no resources to be able to help him. Now, if somebody really cares, then the next man up. So who's going to be the next black coach or alumni to take over, what he started? I mean, why could you be mad at that? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, black people always act like people owe him something. You know what I'm saying? He did everything that he was supposed to do in my book. And Colorado agreed to give him money and resources to be able to help Jackson State for him leaving. So it's like, what else do you got? What else do you want from the guy?
Mm-hmm. I did hear that. I did hear at the end of the press conference that they're going to give him some resources to give to Jackson State.
Yeah, money and resources to help him out with facilities and stuff like that. Deon, they fired a black coach at Colorado and hired another black coach. So it's like, if it's integrity, there is integrity there, and there's boosters, there's more money, there's more resources. That's like a kid in a junior college. He's playing at a junior college, he's getting 30, 40 points a game, and then a Duke offer him $2-3 million. You're gonna tell your kid not to take it, and he's gonna start and still get the same amount of touches every time you're gonna take it.
Yeah, I think HBCUs, in addition to getting a Deion Sanders, you got to start preparing your table.
And then look at this too from a family aspect of it, right? That water crisis, he got all his kids and stuff down there. Nobody wants to talk about this, but on Friday, one of the students got killed in the parking lot by another student at Jackson State.
Are you
So it's like,
serious?
yeah, you can Google it. It's Google. They didn't want to put it out, but that happened too. That's not a safe place to even be at. And he got his kids and stuff down there. It's like, it's like people don't look at it. They look at from their point of view, but it's like, come on now, like he made the best decision, and he didn't do like Mel Tucker did at Michigan State and abandon the kids. He communicated to the kids, and he went back to
Oh
coach the
shit!
championship game.
Oh man,
See,
I'll
they
read
don't
it to
talk
you
about
guys.
that.
Jackson State University student found dead on campus. Homicide investigation underway. An investigation is underway after a student at Jackson State University in Mississippi was found dead on campus. The victim had been shot, and his body was discovered inside a Dodge Charger in a campus parking lot Friday. Wow. Damn. Wow. At this time, shit, I mean.
And you got your daughter there, she playing, you know what I'm saying? What are you supposed to do? Like on campus and got your kids there, got money and stuff like that. It's just like, and then the water crisis, it's like, man, that man did an exceptional job. I don't understand how somebody can be mad at that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he did an exceptional job. He did. Exceptional. I'm sorry, that's the advertisement. But go ahead. Yeah, he did an exceptional job. And
like you say, Fred, a leader of men. He's a leader of men, especially a leader of black men. And like he said in the presser, I'm leaving the school. I'm not leaving the black kids. He's still recruiting and getting people there. So he still know where he come from. It's like, what else do you want the guy to do? He's getting paid $300,000 a year. Somebody's offering $30 million plus $5 million to recruit players when he's already a great recruiter. His son he does all the marketing stuff. They're giving him a budget to be able to grow his stuff. It's like, what else do you guys want the guy to do? It's like,
I'll be honest, man. Oh man, that's one of the reasons why I left a gym. You know what I mean? I saw a dead body at a gym. Now I can't come to this gym. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and if you got an opportunity to leave and there's a dead body on campus, I'm gonna just keep it a buck.
With your daughter after school, imagine your daughter being out of school and you're working there and you're not around her, you're out of there. Like, what?
And on top of that, your daughter's at the school, so you don't know what haters could do. Like, that's his daughter, okay?
Son got all money, they getting NIL money, they're doing all that stuff. He's helped the water crisis. And then it's like we always talk about, what do you want? Just another tragedy? The dude did an exceptional job, bro. Like, how you gonna complain about that?
He did his job. Now it's time for another Hall of Famer to come in and start coaching at HBCU. Then he started like, okay, someone else's turn.
Pass the baton, right? Dre's Finest says, good points, Fred. I agree with you. Even though it's been a good while, you did. Hey, Dre's Finest, man, you doubled down on it. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, dog. Hey, yeah, man, it's incredibly important that we understand the big picture of this, and what he did in 3 years.
Like, ain't nobody did it in 150, right? 1877.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, bro.
That's crazy, man. And I think we got to hold ourselves accountable, man. It's like parents complaining that there's no jobs for their kids.
You know what it is, too, Fred? He
circumvented.
They're hating because he circumvented the process. He didn't go be some assistant line coach under somebody else. He took his first head coaching job. They saw what he could do, and other people are calling. He didn't sit on an assistant side for 3-4 years before he got a shot. He made his own way.
Did you see him build his team? He built his team from the ground up as a coach. I mean, come on now. He built it the right way and did it with integrity. And he inspired kids,
that, man.
Bro. Like,
I love his integrity.
If he don't motivate you, I'm a young dude. If he don't motivate you to want to be a better man as a all around person, the man almost committed suicide. Was going through a divorce.
I saw that.
Playing 2 sports, drove off the road
in Cincinnati.
And then going to the Colorado, he's like he's competitive still. The man played 2 sports at a high level. One of the top 5 athletes in the last 100 years, or if all time. You think he's not going to try to do something better? Like, they went 1-11. No, I'll turn that around.
Yeah, and the reason why it's a big story, you know why this is a big story? Because he did what he said he was going to do, and he has proof of concept. He's literally changed Black children's lives, and so we have adopted him and honored him. So now it's hard for us to accept that he's taking this greatness somewhere else. But we wasn't prepared. Like,
we're never prepared. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going back to that. We wasn't prepared for this man. This man should have been making $1,150,000. How the hell Jackson State been around 100 and something years, the greatest running back in the history of the sport, I believe he went to Jackson State, right?
Who, Deoin?
No, Walter.
Oh, yeah.
So where's the money? Why ain't we got this money? We got all this money for everything else, but we can't keep this man here. And it goes back to two examples. The Little Caesar pizza man, he saved Rosa Parks' life. He paid her rent for the last years of her life. And two, Malcolm X has 6 daughters. 6 fucking daughters. Not one wealthy black man stepped up and said, you know what? Your father risked his life for us. And y'all gonna say, Fred, what'd you do? I was going to, but she ain't gonna respond. I offered, she didn't respond back.
But Fred, you're talking about people in position of that type of power. I get what you're saying. Like, where's all these people at that are supposed to be on that statue with that type of power? They never double back and even try to talk about that. Like, they don't even talk about Malcolm X. They ain't trying to help his kids out. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they be the first ones to complain. You know what I'm saying? Or try to do. You know, it just doesn't make sense, man. It's sad.
Yeah, man. It's disgusting, man. And
yeah, when Malcolm X's grandson allegedly died of weird causes in Mexico, nobody said nothing. Nobody did nothing. His last male heir.
Right, man. The last male heir. Yeah, exactly right, man. And I just sit. Oh, go ahead, Jerry.
What's up, guys? Yeah. Well, what I had to say, it's not on topic with what y'all are talking about. So I'll just hang back, I guess. Wait till y'all done.
But go ahead, Jerry. I think we're just gonna sit back and go ahead, because we gonna stay on this. But go ahead.
I just wanted to recap some of the fights over the weekend. Tyson Fury, heavyweight champion, fought Derek Chisora in a stay busy bout. Chisora, regardless of his popularity, if you ask me, he needs to retire. The guy's taking too many punches. He's just a straight up punching bag, and I feel like Fury took it easy on him. To add to that, Usyk, he's not beating Fury. Fury's too big for him, man, and he's too skilled for him at that. And Usyk's not a puncher neither. He can punch a little, but ain't nobody beating Tyson Fury right now. The only guy in the entire division that's got the slightest chance of beating him, and it's a slight chance, believe it or not, is Deontay Wilder. And I don't favor Wilder to beat Tyson Fury, but Wilder is the only one with a big enough punch who can reach him to get him. And he came close a couple of times in the first and third fight to doing just that. He's the only one in division that could even come close. Usyk is a good fighter, but he's not going to beat Tyson Fury.
Usyk's a great. How many fights of Usyk have you seen, Jerry? Usyk's a great fighter. He's got a higher IQ than Fury. Fury looks athletic against these unathletic fighters. It's sloppy. Fury, the only advantage Fury has against Usyk is his height and his strength. Actual boxing acumen, Usyk's faced better competition at cruiserweight and a more range of styles. It's easy to look athletic against out of shape Derek Chisora and Dillian White, Otto Wallin, and Tom Schwartz.
Well, if you would have seen Usyk's fight against Derek Chisora, then get back to me, because
I saw Usyk fight against Chisora. I was at the AJ fight last year. I saw what he did to Tony Bellew. I mean, he rises. He's won every one of his belts on the road.
The size of Tyson Fury and can't box nearly as well.
He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's showing way more boxing acumen than Fury.
He came from welterweight in the amateur. He's too small. He's too small to beat him. And plus, he can't outbox him. He just can. He doesn't have the reach.
It's easy. We'll see. I'll put money on that.
Well, we'll see. Well, right now, like I said, in my opinion, Wilder is the only one, and I give him a slim puncher's chance. If I was betting, I bet he gets knocked out again. But he has the puncher's chance and the power to get it done. But furthermore, I would say Chocolatito also needs to retire. He's a good fighter still, but he's 53, 4 fights, whatever. That was a good fight the other night, but he just needs to retire. And lastly, I want to say this. I heard Bill Haney on a YouTube podcast the other day, and I've heard this recently with him on there, and I wonder if Bill should keep doing these interviews, man, because these guys was disrespecting the shit out of Bill Haney, man.
Really?
If I was him, I don't know. I don't know if I would keep doing these interviews, man, if these guys are going to be disrespecting him like he is. I mean, these fighters, their fathers, a lot of these fighters, their fathers are trainers. Ain't nothing new about that. But these father trainers, due to YouTube and all these media outlets, they getting a lot more FaceTime. And I don't know, maybe on one hand it's a good thing, but I don't know. I felt disrespected for him, to be honest with you. And right now there seems to be a whole lot of turbulence surrounding the guys in that division, Tank, Shakur, and Devin Haney. Something's got to give there, though. Some of them fights got to be made, because it's just you got like Shakur was on there beefing with Bill Haney and his dad. I mean, with Devin and his dad, and they're supposed to be friends that go way back, but tension's getting thick, so should make for some good fights.
Hey, did Fury get knocked down yesterday? Did he get knocked down at all yesterday?
I didn't watch the fight, but
I heard he got knocked down or something.
No, he didn't get knocked down. He took it easy on Chisora. You could tell that he was just giving him another payday. The fight was really an unnecessary fight. It was an expected result. I don't say what I say about Fury based off of what he did in this Chisora fight, because that was expected. It's just, I've seen Usyk. I've seen him a bunch. He's a good fighter. There's no question about it. But you got a real good fighter like Usyk against a real good fighter like Fury. Fury's much bigger. Fury's been at heavyweight his whole career. Usyk is still, in my opinion, a little undersized against the behemoths in the division. He had enough to outbox Anthony Joshua. If Anthony Joshua would have fought a more aggressive fight, one of two things would have happened. He would have either got knocked out or he would have won the fight. But he decided to box with Usyk, and that was a bad idea.
And Usyk obviously has enough on those punches to make him box. Tyson Fury got dropped by a cruiserweight too before.
Yes, he did. But the thing is from what I can see, Usyk is just not. He doesn't have the reach. He doesn't have the height. All he's got is his boxing skills, and if he was a better inside,
he's got
fighter,
the footwork and the speed to get in and out. Fury's not going to be able to lean on him.
He would have been able to stop Anthony Joshua 2 times if he could fight better on the inside or if he could punch better. But the guy just—that's
not his game. He didn't try to stop him. He almost had him out in the end of the round. He wanted to win. He still won.
We don't know if he didn't try to stop him. Why would he not try to stop him? That don't even make any sense.
He don't try to stop him because he don't put himself in position to get knocked out.
Joshua.
Did he win? Did he win the fights or not? So this coulda, woulda, shoulda stuff. It doesn't matter. Did he win the fights?
Had Tyson Fury lost the fight. Tyson Fury stopped two reigns. He stopped Klitschko's reign and Wilder's reign. There ain't no way
he stopped reign. But what does that mean? But the best fighter Fury's ever fought was Klitschko. Are we gonna say these other dudes are elite level skill wise?
He stopped 2 reigns, Wilder's and Klitschko's. That's all. Really, that's all you need to know.
Okay.
He's a lineal heavyweight champ. He's undefeated, and he just twice beat and stopped the most dangerous puncher in boxing history. If you listen to
Ernie Shavers. Stop it! I know you're not calling. I know you're not. Come on, man. We're not going to say that. Look at fucking Wilder's resume.
That's what the statistics say. That the statistics say Wilder's the most dangerous heavyweight puncher. Do I believe he is? I don't know. He's up there somewhere. But you see how he got dealt with. The Usyk is not beating Tyson Fury.
Are we going to put some money up, Jerry?
Yeah, I'll put money up on it.
Okay, when it comes, we'll put some money up. See if Fury doesn't want to get away from me. He's already talking about surgery. Fury is not defended. He's not reigned. So he can't even put himself in Ali's category. You know how many times Ali defended his undisputed title?
Did I mention Ali?
I'm talking about that. That's what Fury says. Fury said he fought Chisora so he could have two trilogies like Ali.
Well,
he puts himself in that category.
Yeah, that's really here and over there in my estimation when it comes to the current crop of heavyweights. And
he has to beat Usyk to be considered the best of this era.
First, we got to get Usyk to take the fight because he was offered the fight. He could have been him last night that took the fight, but he claimed he was injured. So
you're really going to believe anything Tyson Fury says? Tyson Fury lies every day.
He got in the ring last night to confront Tyson Fury. Joe Joyce was the one doing more confronting than Usyk.
We watched something totally different. Usyk was looking at him there, didn't blink. Fury is the one acting nervous, talking nonsense. Bob Arum, Aegis Climax, all them said the fight is done. Now Fury's saying he's got to get surgery.
Joe Joyce is the one who did the talking. Usyk didn't say nothing.
What did he have to say? Does Usyk ever talk? If you've seen Usyk fight, he don't talk.
Joyce is a better fight. And
no, it's not the better fight. Now I know. Next subject, because now I know you're just talking nonsense right there. Joyce is the better fight. Okay. Stop it.
Well, when the fight gets made, if it gets made, we can bet money on it.
There, that's enough. Yeah, we can bet money on it.
Okay, fair enough.
Dana Jones says, "What Jerry not taking into account Usyk's heart?" Jerry.
Well, we really haven't seen his heart tested, really.
You haven't seen his heart tested, Jerry? The man went into Russia to win one of his world titles. To Russia, a Ukrainian.
Hard tested. We ain't never seen him take a hard knockdown and have to get up 2-3 times in a fight. I've never seen him hurt.
He was real hurt. He was hurt against.
He was hurt in the 9th round. This last Joshua fight.
Joshua, big time.
Big time.
Mm-hmm. With the body shot.
Go watch that 9th round all over again.
He gassed out at the end a little bit too.
Yeah, and he gassed.
Oh, you're talking in the first.
And
fight,
then you can go watch the 9th round of the last fight against Joshua, and then watch.
I wouldn't say he was big time hurt. I mean,
yes, he was. He even said it himself. Go watch the 9th round, see how bad he was hurt, and then go watch what he did in the 10th round.
Fury beat the shit out of Usyk, bro.
Now, Usyk, that's food for
Ain't nobody beat Fury.
Usyk's gonna style on him.
You think Usyk gonna style? That's okay.
Bro,
Usyk's gonna style on him.
Lay on him, bro. Fury will lay on him, bro.
You know why he can't lay on him? He don't have Usyk's footwork to lay on him. Usyk will be able to dance and get out of the way.
He gonna tire
Usyk's
out
the
at
better.
the end,
Everybody
bro.
says Fury's a great athlete. It's great to look like a good athlete
But
against
Fury can move
Chisora.
too, though.
He can't move like Usyk. Let's stop it. You could move like that against Chisora, White, and uncoordinated Wilder.
But you
look at the way
look
Usyk's footwork.
Joshua can't move like Fury.
No, Joshua can't move like Fury. But if we're talking athleticism, Usyk does that better. The man was playing with the Ukrainian soccer team. Like he's the better athlete.
He is athletic for a heavyweight.
He's the better athlete.
But I'm just saying when you're talking about them two fighting,
it's going to be a great fight if they get fight. But like Fury said, he's got to have surgery, so he might be out another. What is the shoulder? What is the elbow surgery? He said 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And now, if it's 6 to 8 weeks, we don't know if Hrgovic's going to take step aside money now.
Hey, Fred, who you got on that undercard for Tank? Man, that's a sold out event in DC.
It's going to be sold out for sure.
Yeah, they said they got to have somebody good on the undercard for that.
They got I did that video and someone reminded me that they got Via Nikki.
And then what you?
No, matter of fact, I forgot when I did the video, and then after I did the video, I realized it was Via Nikki, the kid from New Jersey. He's on the undercard. I don't know who else is.
And also,
them guys. You know where it kind of threw me off a little bit too. Like when these guys is going back and forth, it's like, okay, you got a Black Prime fighting on Saturday. If all these guys took their fighters that's under them, like their fighters and stuff, they're signed under them, and then put them under the Black Prime, you know what I mean? The undercard with the Terrence Crawford, and then all them guys show up to the fights, and then they, you know what I mean, they start arguing about their fighters and stuff. That'll help their promotion, and then that'll build them guys up, and then build the fighters up that they got under them. You know what I'm saying? And help build Black Prime, and then they can all venture off and do their own thing without, you know what I mean, without the big guys. They don't even market it correctly.
Right.
How do you order that Black Prime fight?
You got to get the app. So you go to
no, they announced today the other day it's going to be available on demand, in demand, pay-per-view, and like the regular pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Because
you can get it on a linear pay-per-view.
Okay, good.
But the Showtime president of entertainment proved you right, Fred.
Oh yeah, what happened?
She said there's belt tightening coming next year in all divisions.
Yeah. Yeah,
I sent you that spring. She said they're cutting the budget on everything.
Yeah, and
how much is the Crawford fight?
$40.
$40. I'm gonna order that fight because Bud Crawford is my favorite fighter. But typically I wouldn't pay. I mean, at least it's $40. But his opponent, I'm tired of paying for fights to watch a star fighter fight an unheralded fighter. I'm going to do it because I'd like to see things work out for Bud Crawford and Black Prime, because frankly, with PBC and Showtime having all the problems they're having, they're gonna have to be other outlets to watch boxing. But I don't like this pay-per-view bullshit, man, on all these fights. Spence Crawford, sure, I pay $80 for that. I don't stream fights. I like to pay for them so that the money can support the sport. I got no problem with paying for a fight when it's a good fight, a good competitive matchup. I don't like paying for these fights. I'm gonna do it this time, but I'm not. Next time, I'm not doing it. Plus, and I know people ain't gonna want to hear this, but I'm still, man, I don't know, man. If that fight doesn't come off next weekend, I'm not going to be entirely surprised. And I know people might say, well, everything's in place. The numbers that I've heard, I mean, that's if the numbers are true. If the numbers are true, I just don't see how that fight doesn't lose millions of dollars.
Hey, Fred, Eddie Hearn said they're not going to do 10,000 buys. And then if you give him $8 million guarantee, I'm not trying to count nobody's pockets, but $8 million guarantee, there's no way you make that money back on the gate. That must just be, you know what I mean? They must have a budget just to get set up and just to get their name out there, and they got a long-term plan. They have to, because I don't see it really being profitable in the first fight.
Gotta be something like that, man. But even in a long-term plan, you don't want to start off any business endeavor by losing millions of dollars square up front. I mean, at least I wouldn't think so. No, unless someone's got some super, super deep pockets. Maybe they have investors that haven't been made public, but it's just a bad business plan to have an event where, from what I understand, if Crawford's going to get $10 million, from what I've heard, he's already gotten $5 million, which is kind of unprecedented, if that's true. And then I heard Avenetian is supposed to get $7 or $8 million. How in the fuck is that possible?
In my opinion, they're not a public company. I don't have shares, so it's not my problem.
No, it's not. It's not mine neither. But I've watched boxing long enough to know that the money is the most important thing to everybody involved, and especially the promoters and the people that put on the fights. If Black Prime was a subscription-based boxing network like DAZN.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I could see a little bit different. Like people say, well, DAZN doesn't make money on Canelo Alvarez when they look at the purse numbers and the ticket sales and the pay-per-view sales. But there's a different way they do business over there. They got that subscription based format, so it's hard to say. They apparently think he's worth having. But, Bud Crawford claimed that his fight with Porter was hurt by being on the ESPN app. Well, ESPN's app is like one of the biggest fucking apps in the world. This Black Prime, I've looked for it on my TV. I can't find it. I can't find it nowhere. This is a super small app. Mm-hmm. And from what you read online, their net worth for the whole company is like $5 million. Yet they're about to put on a fight that's going to encroach, according to what you read, $20 million. And Bud, as good as he is, he's not a major pay-per-view attraction. I'm personally still 50-50 that Saturday night it could be something could go wrong. And I don't wish that to happen. I hope the contrary. My hope is that they can actually make money, or at least break even, so that they could continue to do what they want. Because I know they got Broner in the offing, and the thing is with Showtime backing off their boxing budget, and DAZN ain't about shit really. I mean, I'm about to cancel DAZN because their fights ain't about shit. And the Canelo, I'm a Canelo fan, but you got to pay for his fights, which they said they weren't going to do. And from what I hear, they're fixing to raise their price again. And it's just running out of places to watch boxing. So I got a feeling that a lot of boxing is going to come down to apps, just like Black Prime. So, I hope they're successful because of that reason. However, what it's probably going to mean is that anytime we want to see a fighter fight, anyone of note, we're going to have to pay for it, at least $40.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more as it pertains to the lack of fights, man. And I think fans have such low expectations and they fear to. I think so many fans are afraid to speak truth to power, and I think we are the victims by choice at this point. And I don't know what it's going to take for us to realize that we're actually paying these fighters along with the sponsors, and until we believe and understand the power we have, it's just going to be politics as usual, especially the ones that's charging us pay-per-view, you know what I mean? So and as it pertains to Prime, I think they're doing this to introduce themselves to boxing. I think they don't. I think they have no expectations of making money. To be honest with you, on this fight.
That's what I said. I was like, that has to be a business model. Maybe they got $40-50 million just sitting in the stash, and they're just trying to get a name out there. You know what I mean, and just get it started. You know what I mean, first off, and then get going.
Or it could be like some other people are saying, they're the money laundering ties to Daniel Kinahan.
Well, we don't know.
A lot of people get it. The boxing is one of the only sports where you can still do that because it's not regulated. You can make the books whatever you want them to be.
There's a lot of people out there that try to distance Bud Crawford's name from Kinahan, but he was involved.
When you deal with that type of money, that money still got to test in banks.
Let me finish. A whole bunch of other top-ranked fighters are linked to Kinahan. Tyson Fury, the Scottish dude, was undisputed there at 140.
There's about 100 fighters that can't come to this country that were affiliated.
Yeah, but it was a whole bunch of top-ranked fighters. Is what I've seen because I looked at the list. And the thing is, you can't blame these fighters. That guy Kinahan threw his hat in the ring as a boxing broker, so that's another place to get money and to get financing, and that's why these fighters are involved with him. I don't blame Bud Crawford. But like when they talk about that hedge fund that he was talking about, and Spence said Crawford wouldn't tell him who it was. Well, you got to ask yourself, why wouldn't he tell him? How do we know it wasn't Kinahan? We don't know if Kinahan is involved with this. I would hope that Blue Blood would know better than to do business with that guy. But the reality is there's still fighters that are still linked to him, like Tyson Fury and Josh Taylor. And not everybody really believes and thinks that he's the gangster that the United States has labeled him to be. And if he is, I mean, he's still out there. I mean, I don't know why they can't get to this guy.
Because it's not worth enough. He's not like, it's just a blip in the news. They don't care. He's over there in Saudi. It's fine. Like there's no money in it for America to go get him. What's the American?
They care enough to deny Fury to come to the country. And
that's just politics. But there, like anybody knows, the American justice system is also a business. If there was money to go get, if there was worth the investment to go put the man hours into go apprehending Kinahan, they would. Not enough Americans know who that is to where you get the collar on that, it raises your profile. Because nobody follows boxing in America like that to know that. Only people in America that know who Daniel Kinahan is like hardcore boxing fans.
They're after Kinahan is because they say he's evaded taxes here in the United States. And I'm not talking about taxes on a couple $100,000. I'm talking about millions and millions of dollars and money laundering and all this gangster activity, not just in Ireland, but abroad. I mean, this guy's supposedly a real bad dude. But I don't know that he is. And I don't blame the fighters for getting with him because they probably didn't know exactly who he was. I'm sure he didn't say, "Hey, my name's Canahan, and I'm an Irish gangster kingpin." You know, they probably just seen him as another source of how to get fights financed and how to get money. So I don't blame Bud Crawford or Tyson Fury, none of them guys. But I just, like I say, when it comes to this weekend's fight, I'm looking forward to it because I like Bud. I did look into this Avenetian. I wouldn't say he's a total bum. I'd put him on par with the Green Machine. He looks like a pretty strong fighter.
No, he's a top 10 guy. He was ordered to fight Keith Thurman a couple years ago, but they wouldn't cross promote. So he's been a victim of not being able to get certain fight when he's been ordered to get them too. He's not. I don't know if he's elite, but he's not a bum.
Nah, he's no bum. Although he did get beat by the Green Machine, I think, but I don't really think there's too much shame in that. I expect Bud Crawford to beat him like everybody else does. I don't think the question about the fight is who's going to win. The question about the fight is, for some, like myself, is it actually going to come off? And if it does, you know, we're going to be looking at the pay-per-view numbers. Now, people say, well, what do you care about the money? Well, I care about the money because I know money dictates the sport of boxing. Where if the money's not there, the fights ain't going to be there. So just by that de facto, I pay attention to the money. So if this fight comes in and does 50,000 pay-per-views, that means they're losing millions of dollars on their first event.
Oh, they're gonna lose.
They're gonna lose money. The American boxing is going in the toilet. It's going to get worse. You're going to see a lot of American boxers having to go abroad to get paydays.
They're about to do a Jesse Owens in the son of a biscuit.
It's going to be a reset. You're not going to see fighters getting $1 million purses on Showtime next year, on regular Showtime.
Hey, is it true? I believe Tyson Fury made $25 million and the other guy made $5 million.
I heard he made 3 and Tyson made 20.
Tyson, that's what
crazy,
they're reporting. But all you ask the people in the
though.
UK that they weren't buying that shit.
25 million or whatever, that's a lot of money for
they put 60,000 people in there though.
Yeah,
for a tune-up.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they're both from the UK. Chisora still got a fan base. That's a great stadium. They did the AJ fight there. I've been to that stadium.
I'm Deontay Wilder. I'm running over there.
If I'm a middle of the road American, I'm running over there.
Yeah, I'm running over there. I'm fighting 3 times a year over there.
31 million to fight Dylan White.
Think about this: if Eddie Hearn got 10 million, if Eddie Hearn got 10 million to give Tank base plus upside, he could put the Crawford Spence fight on. It's just that, like you said, Fred, Al don't want to let them do it.
Mm-hmm. I think Al Heyman is models being exposed. Go ahead, Tavion.
No, I was saying you look at even the women's fight with Alicia Baumgartner and Clarissa Shields. You seen the crowds and stuff like that. If I'm like, you know what I mean, American fighter, I'm running over there. I'll go fight 3 times a year. I'll go fight them guys as people and then go knock them all out and build my brand over there and then just keep going. And you know what I mean? In the next 2 years, I'll probably be up 6 fights. You know what I'm saying? But that's better than fighting 1 time every 3 years over here. And if Al Heyman couldn't accept that, then bro, I'm firing him. It's not even that hard.
It's a fucked up thing, man. If you think about the rich history of American boxing, not only in having the greatest fighters, but also having the most lucrative fights. It wasn't that long ago where fighters from England and abroad dreamt of coming to Las Vegas, fight capital of the world it once was. They dreamt. That was their dream, to fight in Vegas. And it wasn't that long ago, maybe 20 years ago, maybe not even quite that long.
Right.
But now boxing is more popular in lots of places around the world. And in the UK, it's not even close. And another good thing about the UK is in different a little bit to the United States, they will accept an American fighter. If you go there and you fight hard, and even if you lose, and that's another thing, and Chisora's proof of it, they love Derek Chisora. Why? Yeah, the man's got a dozen losses, but he always shows up to fight hard. You know, he fights hard every time, and he puts on a good show, and they love him for that. And that's something here in the United States, man. Boxing slipped so far here in the States
because American boxing fans aren't fans of the entire sport. A couple weight divisions, couple of it's tribal, their affiliation. You go to the UK, they follow the entire sport. They're up at 4 or 5 in the morning watching Chocolatito and Estrada yesterday.
Yeah.
They follow they follow those other divisions. They know who Inoue is. You ask an American that says they watch boxing, you know who Inoue is? They're like, no.
Nah, fuck.
They're
no.
actual fans of the sport, of the entire sport, all the division. Look at Alicia Baumgartner. She's smart. She took that Eddie Hearn bag, and she don't care if she's fighting over there. What they gonna do for her in Detroit?
But her
Fred,
next
what they
fight
gonna do for her in Detroit? Fred, they gonna give her high 6 figures to fight over there?
She said her next fight would be in Detroit, but like I said, like you said, it's just building your brand. You know what I'm saying? You go over there and go and build your stuff up. And now she can always go back over there and fight. You know what I'm saying? And then you can always have somewhere to go to. But like you said, Tyson Fury making $20-something million for a tune-up fight, bro. Come on, bro. That's where all the money's at. Like, I'm going where the money's at.
Usyk made $75 million this last fight.
And then if you're a boxing fan in America, you're just gonna be disappointed. So you're gonna lose interest.
The Saudis, what they paid the Saudis, what the Saudis paid them, him and AJ. Fred, they should be running over there. They Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford.
We got the NFL, the NBA, the National Hockey League, Major League Baseball. We got about 5-6 mainstream sports that are just absolutely huge. And in England, I could be wrong about this, but mostly it's soccer. That's like their number one sport. They don't have all these prolific professional sports like we have here in the United States. So, it's kind of like in Mexico, it's soccer and boxing.
If Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford should have called Eddie Hearn up, like, what are the Saudis willing to pay us to go over there for undisputed?
Right.
Because I guarantee you it'd be more than they get in Vegas over here.
Especially a guarantee. It'll be for sure. More guarantee, yeah.
But yeah. Fred, that's like what you say though. It's not. That's the powers that be stopping that, because that don't even make logical sense to even not go over there and do that. That's the powers that be stopping that. And then as a man, how can he even say anything to make you not want to do that? Talking about the fight ain't ready yet. Floyd done fought 4 times this year over there. Talking about the fight.
To talk about it, Floyd is the most active retired fighter.
Facts.
Floyd is over there.
Floyd,
you know what it is too. I think what it is though too, Fred. You know how Floyd could be a hater. He don't want these young fighters over here going over there and seeing how the Saudis move and like getting the connections. And Floyd want to bring the bridge to that for the Black American fighters.
Right.
That's a fact.
Right. Yeah, Floyd is like that. Even Adrian Broner said in the interview, he said, Floyd don't want to see me with $100 million.
Hell no. He can say he do, but he don't, because he would have did it already.
Facts. Yeah.
Gervonta Davis, look, they don't even like each other. Fred, that's what I was going to ask you too. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. You think Ellaby going to pop up?
Hell no, Ellaby.
He been quiet on Twitter. Where Ellaby at now? He been quiet.
Is he still with Mayweather Promotions? Is that still Mayweather Promotions on the back flyer tomorrow?
No, it don't say it, but we're gonna get our answer tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
Tank got a press conference tomorrow.
So Ellaby should retire, then there is no more Mayweather Promotions.
Ellaby gonna be working for the Zone.
They got Rolly.
Facts.
He gotta get fight dates, man. Now Leonard Ellaby got to get out there and hustle. And I think his ego is too big to be out here hustling. He already made stuff. Like Floyd. See what we did with Floyd.
He's not a leader of men, though. He's
never really a promoter. Like I'm like, well, you tell him, bro. Bob Arum, Carl Moretti, and Top Rank built Floyd into the fighter. That Oscar De La Hoya fight took him over A-list, and then Floyd did the rest. Leonard, you didn't do none of that.
No, he didn't. He damn sure didn't. I've struggled to figure out what the fuck Leonard Ellaby really does. The whole time. I mean, that guy don't really do nothing, man.
Hey, Fred.
What's he going to do for Dazin? Besides command some kind of type of high salary, he ain't gonna.
No, he got to get dates, so he got to hustle for his fighters now.
I think what they're smarter though now. Joe Markowski at DAZN. They're gonna make Eddie be the Eddie is gonna be the liaison. Like, Eddie, is that a good fight? Should we pay for that? And Eddie's gonna say yes or no.
Eddie ain't gonna let Ellaby do nothing at DAZN like that. He gonna stop anything that he can stop.
Look at they already met. They like Oscar. We'll give you dates, but you got to send Zerto over to Saudi. The zone said, "Fine, okay. You still got a good payday." The whole landscape to boxers, American boxers, are going to have to go back to being world champions, fighting all over the world, because that's where the bag's at. The bag's outside of America.
Money's not in America.
They're beautiful countries, though. Like I've been over to some places. Why wouldn't you want to go over there? The people are nicer. There's money there. You know what I'm saying? Like that should be your American dream anyway, to be over there. Like America's cool, but I mean, there's beautiful places everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're boxing and stuff, you can become a household name over there. It's like I don't understand.
Well,
it's like you look at rappers, right?
Like I said, it didn't used to be that way. It used to be the money was here. It wasn't that long ago that the money was here, you know. Right. And plus, fighters are oftentimes, you guys know as well as I do, they're oftentimes reluctant to fight in foreign countries, thinking they might not get a fair shake. But you could say the same thing about fighters fighting here in the United States. They don't always get a fair shake. But one thing we know for sure is money dictates. And like you guys are saying, and what we're talking about is the money not here anymore. As rich as our boxing heritage is here, and the greatest fighters ever, from Ali to Sugar Ray Robinson, right on down the line, Ray Leonard, you know, boxing started in England, but it was popularized here in the States. Here's where the money always used to be in the biggest events. But man, it just ain't that way no more, and it don't look like it's going to be changing anytime soon.
And that's a wild thing, Fred. You could move Tank to the UK now, build it, and give him like 4 or 5 fights over there. He'll be packing out Wembley.
Superstar.
Bro, he be sleep. Bro, he be putting people to sleep over there. Them people.
If you let him put people to sleep over there, starting in the 02, and then in a year and a half, Eddie would have him. That's why Eddie won him. Eddie he could have him stadium fights.
Shit. I mean, he goes straight to
did that shit. I don't know why he put that contract up like that.
Tank would be the star that they claim he is here. He would be that there. They would love him, man, with the knockouts and he's exciting every time out. Pretty much.
Hey, Fred, has Tank ever sold out in Vegas though? I'm not talking about Brooklyn.
He's never headlined in Vegas.
He's never headlined
Vegas. So we don't even. He ain't never headlined in Vegas, huh?
He's never headlined because Tank sells tickets. Don't get me wrong. He can bring in money, but then Vegas price is a whole different story.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
good point.
That's what I'm saying. That's when you know you're a big dog.
I still think he'll do better in Vegas than Errol if you put the right fight for Tank in Vegas.
Really?
Like
hasn't Errol fought in Vegas before?
No.
Fought in Vegas
not as a main event. Not as a main
event. You put Tank and Ryan in Vegas. That's going to do a $15 million gate.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Tank and Ryan has to be in Vegas
because that's Mexicans. I mean, that's Hispanics and all that type of stuff too included. When you're doing them black cards and stuff like that, it's like it kind of be hard to you know what I mean. The gates don't really. That's why they take them to Brooklyn and stuff like that. Like
usually, the fight in Vegas, a big card has to be close betting odds. Typically, unless you're like Mayweather when he was in his prime, and Mayweather was a Vegas, star attraction, as we know. But typically, that's why you won't see Tank Davis fighting in Vegas, because the odds on his fights, he's usually heavily favored. And it's a different story. There's a reason why he hasn't headlined in Vegas and why he fights in these.
Because he wouldn't sell out in Vegas, and they know that because of the fight, the caliber of fighters.
Yeah.
Same thing with Deontay. Deontay needs to head over. Deontay should be fighting in Europe. He should call up Eddie, because that's where if he fight Joshua, it's got to be over there.
I really don't think them dudes want to fight him like that, though. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think Joshua or Usyk and them guys really want to fight Deontay Wilder, though. He's putting you to sleep.
I mean, nah, those guys are fighting dudes. Usyk went over there as country fighter. We're like, no, they'll fight.
I'm talking about Wilder, though. I'm talking about going to sleep, though. He's the type. You won't be the same after he knock you out. Usyk get knocked out by him, he probably be done.
Fight up, but I don't think Joshua would.
He's putting you to bed.
Y'all think Tank would do better than Earl in Vegas?
No.
I'd say about the same.
Yeah, no, I get this. I'll tell you this. Tank and Ryan in Vegas does more than Errol and Crawford in Vegas.
Because that's black, and then Hispanic, and that's the matchmaking. Like Yeah, bro. The black people don't. The market ain't really there for that in Vegas.
No, I'm talking about the buzz for Tank and Ryan is because they have two different. It's not even the Hispanics that support Ryan. They're not like me. They're not like real Mexicans. Ryan don't speak Spanish. It's teeny bopper kids. Like Ryan's demographic is completely different. You can't just say Latinos support Ryan. It's not so. But just because Ryan on social media got GMC, he got Gatorade sponsors, he's got blue chip corporations sponsoring him. So just on that strength and Tank's buzz, like they'll do bigger. There'll be more of a buzz in Vegas for them fighting than Spence and Crawford.
Yeah, that fight would be in Vegas. That fight gonna be in Vegas for sure. But that Terrence Crawford, like you said, Earl Spence, that fight should probably honestly go overseas if they really want to make the most money.
I'll tell you like this: if they priced it right, you could fill up Allegiant Raiders Stadium for Tank and Ryan, 30,000-40,000.
Yeah, for sure.
You think so?
Yeah,
at the right price, right, Fred? You don't think you can get 30 in there, 30K?
Yeah, yes, because it's so close to LA. Yeah,
because so close to LA. It's not that far from Texas. So the fight fans in Texas,
right?
Have they had any fights in there yet, or even UFC? They haven't even had any UFC fights.
They haven't had a fight yet there.
No.
Oh, this nigga broke his ankle.
You see that? It was dangling. It's hanging.
Ugh.
It's hanging. That was mad.
Grappolo broke his ankle.
That was nasty.
Remember Bryant Young when we were kids? Oh, you weren't born then.
No,
Brian,
yeah.
Oh, go Google that shit on YouTube.
Steve Young or Brian Young?
Bryant Young, man, on Monday Night Football. I was watching it. Like he snapped it. Oh,
dangling, huh? That was messed up.
Yeah,
bro.
like that.
They put all their weight on there and then it just jammed it on that grass.
Yeah, that's 2 season endings. Damn.
Then, remember Trey Lance, the starting quarterback, did he break his leg or broke his ankle the second game of the season? Then Garoppolo break his ankle. That's crazy.
Yeah. Say it again, Jerry.
Is that the Dallas game?
No, I'm watching. I'm watching Sports Center.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's.
You see, Lamar Jackson got hurt today.
Oh, he did? How bad?
Yeah.
They said it's minor. Messed his knee up.
His knee injury.
He shouldn't step back on that field.
At the same time last year. This is a guy that wants $250 million guaranteed. The Ravens offered him $160 million, and he turned it down.
Yeah,
I'm going to get mine. They paid Deshaun Watson, who was the massage therapist band at $270. I need all mine.
Oh, he played today, huh?
Yeah, they played Houston.
How did he do?
Houston. They won, but he didn't. He was rusty though. He ain't played. He was rusty.
Okay.
He only threw for like 140 or something.
But like I said, man, I don't think quarterbacks. If you look at all these injuries, it's outside the pocket, man. And many of these injuries, not all of them. And I say this: if you want to be an NFL quarterback, you got to make these plays inside the pocket. And I know many of y'all are gonna disagree with me, but
if you want longevity,
and that's why. And people say, "Oh, you a coon," but I can't give Lamar Jackson all this money when 50% of his offense is running or outside the ball. Or outside.
He's one injury away from being done.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like I want that motherfucker in Cincinnati. That's who I want.
Burrow.
I would say this: the quarterback position is played from the pocket. Everybody knows that. But I've watched Lamar. He can make every throw on the field, and I've watched him do that. I wouldn't necessarily agree with the injuries outside of the pocket. Plenty of quarterbacks get injured behind the line of scrimmage because oftentimes they don't see when they're going to get hit. When they're outside of the pocket, you can slide down. You can see when you're about to get hit, and you can better prepare for it. I don't know the stats on that, but I know from watching Brady and Manning and plenty pocket passers, when they got injured, they oftentimes got injured behind the line of scrimmage. Lamar has been pretty much injury-free, and prior to him, Joe Flacco, who used to get sacked like crazy, he played, I think, 6 or 7 years without any injuries. But Lamar is a good quarterback, and he's a game-changing quarterback. Well, he's very tough to contain, whether he's throwing the ball or he's pass option, whatever. He can literally light a game up, and he's done that this year. He's won games almost based totally on what he was able to do with the football. But where I do agree with Fred is I don't agree with paying any one player that kind of money, because then you can't afford to pay other players.
But that's the market though, because you got to look, if Deshaun Watson was suspended and they paid him $270, he's in the same division, and my numbers are saying that, then I need to get paid just as much as him if I'm being productive. It's just what the market did. They messed the market up when they gave Deshaun Watson all that money. So now he's like, okay, you're gonna pay him that, then I need that. You know what I'm saying? Russell Wilson, he just got what, 240, and they robbed him on that. You know what I'm saying? So,
damn. Yeah.
He can't throw for 200 yards. He can't even score over 10 points a game.
But Lamar Jackson in his third year, which I think his last year was his third year, he missed the last 6 games of the season. I think it was 6 games injured. He got injured this year. He's injured now, same time as last year. And the Ravens went from first to last year. Now they're in first place right now. He's injured again, basically the same week he got injured last time. And I'm just on the fence about the guy, man. I like him. I've seen him make every throw on the field. People act like this guy can't pass. No, he can pass. If you go look at his highlight reels, you'll see that he can make every play. But his problem is he's not consistent. He's not consistent with it. He's more consistent with the running. But as you know, and like Fred's pointing out, and you guys are pointing out, the running, every year you get a little bit slower, and those guys get a little bit faster. And that's just, I don't care how good you are, that's just how it is. And, you know, if you look at run option quarterbacks throughout the history, they usually have 1 or 2 successful years early, and then they slow down a bit. The league figures them out, and the rest is history. And I got a client that I take care of his property. He lives right next door to Lamar Jackson. And I like Lamar, man, and I kind of thought that the Ravens would at least get 1 Super Bowl with him, but I just don't know. After watching that game last week, I'm convinced they can't give him that type of money. I wouldn't. $160 million guaranteed, and if he takes that, good. If not, they got to let him shop.
What they're gonna do is they're just gonna franchise tag him next year, and then then they probably pray that he get hurt, decline, and then don't have to pay him the money. That's what they're really betting on. They ain't gonna say it, but that's what they're trying to do. Yeah, they're gonna franchise him for sure. Get him like 1 bag, and then see if he decline, and then try to offer him that 100 or something. You know what I mean, and justify it. Because the Baltimore, they probably don't even got that type of money to give him. Shit, they probably don't even got $240 million to give him.
Now they got that TV money. They good.
No, they got money, man. Their owner is rich. The Ravens are like a top 12 franchise, believe it or not. And the way they got their tickets set up, like you have to buy this PSO. Me and my wife had one, and every game is a sellout.
Really?
It's automatically sold out before the game starts, because the tickets are by PSL, or they call them PSLs or whatever. So like when you have them, like a few years ago, around 2000, when the Ravens won the Super Bowl in 2000, those PSLs were worth like $20,000.
That's crazy.
So, sell them motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, man.
Then when the league, when all that stuff went down with Kaepernick and football was not, the popularity fell down a little bit, those PSLs went from $20,000 to like $6,000.
Yeah.
They're back now, though.
That owner of Baltimore, they was hot. They said all the owners were hot at the Cleveland Browns for giving Deshaun Watson all that money because it messed the market up. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of just screwed. So all the owners are pissed off. You know what I mean? Because they was like, man, they can't fathom paying nobody that much money. And then you see this stuff with Russell Wilson. It's like that 240, and then you got players in the locker room. He's getting paid more than everybody combined. He's out there. You know what I mean? Looking like trash, bro. They're looking at him like, man, F this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, mad. So it's just, we'll see how it plays out. But
the Ravens beat, well, you probably know, but they beat Seattle today by 1 point.
No, the Broncos. Russell Wilson played for the Broncos. He don't play in Seattle no more. We got rid of him.
Yeah. They played the Broncos. They played Russell Wilson, and he didn't look that good, man. He sure didn't look like those. Imagine that. They're stuck with him, man. They didn't give him all that money.
Bro, they hate Russell Wilson in Seattle, bro.
He was good when they gave him the money.
He's a clown, bro.
I bet. I bet.
He's
I mean,
fake
he's
ass dude, bro.
Deoin is the most important sports figure in Denver, more than
For
Jokovic,
sure.
right? Jokic,
Yeah,
excuse me,
Jokic. Nikola Jokic. Hey, I'm
And
gonna
he's
keep it
MVP.
real, Fred. I think Deion's the one of the most influential black leaders that we got left when it comes into the sports world. Just being a leader, like as a man and integrity.
Mhm.
And
I like
think
his.
he's the most important person that I inspire.
I
Like
like his.
that's how I want to be like when I get older and stuff. That's how my dad raised. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
being a man
like
like that.
that's-
Like he's the most important sports figure I think in the world. I mean, in the United States when it comes to like black figures to me, bro.
Mhm. Yeah, Jerry, you didn't give your opinion on Deion Sanders. Do you have one?
What happened? He lost his job.
Oh, he
Hell
left.
nah. He upgraded, Jerry.
he elevated. He didn't get terminated. He got elevated.
He elevated, yeah.
I can't blame him, brother, man. I mean, listen, you started your show off talking about accountability. Well, we all got an accountability to be the best providers we can. Deion's made a lot of money in his career, but still, man, if you get a chance to advance yourself, well, hell, why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know much about it, but I can at least say that much. I can't blame anyone. There's been some college coaches that have said, you know what, I don't really want the pressures of a head coaching NFL job, and I'm making enough money here, and they got some loyalty to the team, and kudos to them. But mainly for me, fuck no. If you can upgrade and make more money, a lot more money, then who can blame you?
Yeah, he's making a lot more money, but it's not just the money, man. It's
bigger than the money, man.
Yeah, the fact that the HBCU Jackson State didn't get behind him, man. Like the alumni, the boosters in the community, the SWAC, they didn't do to keep him, man, because he brought so much attention to the SWAC, man. I literally watched Jackson State. I was surfing for Jackson State, trying to find that game, and I watched the fourth quarter. I don't watch HBCU game because the talent level just isn't there. You know, like they're running around lost and shit. You know what I mean? The field is fucked up, and it's hard to watch.
The production, they be having the camera, the people that be calling the games be in them little press boxes and stuff. You can just tell they don't put the
and it's only one camera.
It.
It'd be like one or two cameras at the game as well. And I know y'all gonna say, well, that's the results of them not having money. But this school been around since 1877. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on,
1877. Man. So we can't get private funding since 1877.
They should have raised. They should have raised at least $1 billion. I mean, in financing, they could have got $1 billion. I mean, for 100 years, that's like you being around for 100 years and then getting financing after you keep flipping real estate. Where you should have $1 billion in financing at that point.
And if they have a $60 million endowment, I think they got to be aggressive in their investments. You understand what I'm saying? Like they're too conservative in their endeavors, you know. And it's a state school. Jackson State is a state school.
Yes, in Jackson, Mississippi.
What kind of money was he making? To what type of money is he getting?
$300,000 to $30 million. He was getting $300,000 at
well, $300,000 a year, $5 million a year, so people can understand it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yes.
There's no way they were going to be able to match that.
No, man. But what I'm saying is this, Jerry. If we've been complaining all these years, right? And people gonna get mad, and I want them to get mad because you're white. And if people been complaining that we need to do this, well, how about we prepare the table for Deion Sanders to come in and do what he wants to do? Because at the end of the day, the market is the market. And if you want us to take a pay cut, can we get $1 million donated to the gym? Can we get our Nike? Can we get LeBron James to donate uniforms and shoes through perpetuity? Can we get and that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand the emotional component to it because I was emotional when he said his last. I said, fuck, damn, man, he was building. And then I started seeing the big picture. You know what I mean? And that's why I didn't do a video on it earlier, because since yesterday, because I wanted to intake the whole the whole. I was trying to see it from 50,000 feet. What's up, Champion Heart? And so I think that we got to do our part.
Facts.
We got to set the table for Deoin. Same way we set the table for grandma when grandma's flying in from the East Coast or the West Coast to come to our house for Christmas and Thanksgiving, and we make sure that the house is spotless.
Yeah.
You understand? We got to do the same thing for Deoin Sanders.
You got to remember too. My bad, Fred. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was saying, Deoin brought Under Armour there. The founder, he had them talking to the kids last week. He got them to fly. They was flying private when they was going to the, to their, their games and stuff like that. Like Deoin brought all his resources and his connections, and he elevated the school. And it's ignorant for somebody to say, you know what I mean? If you're looking at that story, like you said, you really look at it. Because I was sad. I'm like, damn. And then you start watching the videos how he was talking to the kids. He didn't abandon them kids. He's still there. Like, he's doing the coaching. A lot of these other coaches, these black coaches at these big schools, leave these kids high and dry. Deoin still had integrity and still doing the right thing. And he elevated this situation. And it's like, you know what I mean? And he's always going to be there. That he was a blessing. And it's like, the thing is with the black community especially, how do you not take those resources and elevate it even more and keep building? Deon's still right there. If you need him, let's keep building. But everybody want to get mad and point the finger instead of trying to build. 1877, there's no excuses, bro. Like that's
it's not one excuse you can give me if you had 100 years. You get what I'm saying? And then you look around the other HBCUs. I'm not an expert on HBCUs or anything like that, but
how long Southern been around?
I'm willing to bet that there's 50 to 75 alive alumni from the NBA, if not more, NBA, NFL, MLB, and they can't set a standard, can't start with one school. Can these 75 to 100 men say, hey, if we each donate $100,000 and we start with one school, and we hold the black elite accountable, we can do this for every school. You understand? And start with Southern, since it's the most popular one in terms of football, I guess, Grambling and Southern. You start there. And you do that for publicity, right? And you start there. You build Southern up, and then you move to the next one, and then you move to the next one. It's on us at this point. I don't believe in poor righteous teach. I don't believe in that. I don't believe you got to be poor. Like Jay-Z is working with the NFL. Jay-Z can't trickle down some shit. Jay-Z can't trickle down $10 million.
And then looking about it like this though, Mo Williams, the basketball coach for Jackson State, the men's basketball coach, Mo Williams. You remember Mo Williams that played with Cleveland with LeBron, the point guard?
He's the head coach.
He's the head coach. Look it up. Jackson State head men's basketball coach is Mo Williams. So LeBron can't run off. I mean, I'm not trying to tell people how to spend their money, but I'm saying, but like there's all these relationships. There ain't nobody buckle down and try to help him out and like give them more resources. Like Deoin, NBA players coming in to coach Jackson, like you get what I'm saying? Like, and everybody's mad. I'm like, what is he supposed to do? Like, I mean, he got his son. Everybody's moving on. Like they're doing bigger things. He didn't leave it like he abandoned them guys. He's still there. They didn't have water. There was brown water and shit. People getting killed in front of the school and stuff like that. Like all kind of crazy stuff they was dealing with. Like
I had no idea. Yeah, he just got the job, Jackson State. So it's still there. Like it's still permanent. I mean, prominent. But I just think that we got to do our part, man. And it's important. Where is Barack Obama? Where is Condoleezza Rice? Where is Mrs. Obama? Kamala Harris? Like,
where's she at? Ain't nobody heard from her. What has she done?
Kamala Harris can make one phone call. And add resources to a HBCU. And I'm not saying they're not doing it. I don't know it to be true, but I'm saying we can do an experiment start with Southern. Build Southern
Donald
up.
Trump invest like $30 million in the pandemic to the black schools, and then when Biden got in, he took away the funding for the black schools or something like that. Like you could look that up too. That was something that had happened as well. They was mad at Trump, but Trump was giving resources and money to the HBCUs. When Biden got in there, he cut the funding out.
Let's see. Yeah, Donald Trump. Shit. I want to read the. Trump signs a bill funding for black colleges, provides more than $250 million a year to the
Come on,
nation's.
bro.
Damn, that's a lot of money. Trump
Yeah,
signs
Biden
bill
cut it.
December 19th restoring funding for black colleges. Donald Trump on Thursday signed a bipartisan bill that will permanently provide more than $250 million a year for the nation's historically black colleges and universities, along with dozens of institutions. $250 million is a lot of money. Yeah, I want to see what Biden did, so we can get some comparative analysis. But yeah, you're right, man. Biden administration. Yesterday, the Biden administration announced a regular 2-point bill. Oh, okay. So Biden says, fact check Biden ambitious HB. Oh, it's a proposal. Well, they said the federal government would provide an increase of $752 million from 2001 levels of Biden budget to HBCUs, stuff like that. So the report urges that I gotta go through it because the numbers seem kind of crazy. But the numbers seem kind of crazy, but yeah. But it looks like Biden did donate some money to the HBCUs. I just want to get because the numbers are different in each article.
Yep. But it's like, yeah. Man, it's crazy, man.
But getting back to Deoin, man, I'm proud of what he accomplished. If I would have stayed at the first level and just saw it from an emotional perspective, I would come on here like, man, why he stay? But the onus is on Jackson State. Over 100 years, and you can't get this man $300. You can't get this man $3 million.
Yep, exactly. A booster should give him that. That's a tax write-off for somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? That don't make sense.
The fact that we can't. I mean, why do we keep on looking outward? The fact that we can't come up with $3 million to keep Deoin at Jackson State is beyond me. That's all I'm saying. And we should have did something about it, man. And I'm willing to bet if they would have did a telethon or something because the AD knew Deoin was leaving. So if we can, we need $5 million for Deoin to stay. Man, we would have raised that $5 million for Deoin.
Everything.
I'm guesstimating, but it's the reality is.
Then you got to look at it from a perspective too. My bad, Fred.
No, go ahead.
Now I'm saying you got to look at it too. His son's getting better facilities for his sons and stuff like that. He know he want his son to be in the NFL and stuff like all the resources and the facilities, the NIL money. Now that players are going to get paid more money, it's all around better deal. Like, and he negotiated too. They're never talk about this. Like I said, the Colorado AD and the chancellor at Colorado is giving money to Jackson State to be able to help them and not leave them high and dry. So, like, you don't see that going nowhere else. You don't see another college hiring 2 black people after they fire one black coach and then went and got another black coach. Deoin is one of his assistants or something. He's like, he wanted him to get the job. You know what I mean? After him, you know what I'm saying? But the AD said he's going to do a coaching search. Like, Deion's still there trying to help and then try to provide and do everything. So I don't understand how everybody can be upset and not look at it from that perspective. Like, he left the place better than he came and he's still trying to help. Is that not good enough? Like, if that ain't good enough, what else do you guys want? Do you guys want this guy to go outside and get robbed? They was breaking into his cars, taking all of his stuff, breaking his son's cars, windows and stuff.
They did?
Yeah, it was like all that stuff. Like, yeah, bro, cars getting broken into and stuff like that. That's why he kept saying at the press conference, this city is safe. Because he knew that person got killed in that parking lot. He never said
exactly. I knew what he was alluding to when he kept. He said it's no crime in this city, and the fact is, what's the difference between those black kids? I understand people that they're majority black, but they're majority black at Colorado too, and plus the people who pay the endowment are really white at many of these HBCUs. You know what I mean?
Yep. And a lot of those guys, they want the HBCUs to do well. And people might, they get mad at it, but it'd be the white people that help the HBCUs out and do them and give them the resources more than the black people do. But then they want to talk about the white person. I'm like, the white people's the one that's giving the resources and trying to make sure that you guys elevate in life. But, black people don't look at it that way. They always want to play victim. So, you know how
Well,
that
we
goes.
getting well, if it's a state school, they getting the money from the government anyway. So yeah, so I'll have that answer tomorrow because I want to know who's on the deeds for Jackson State. So, but I think I Googled a few others, and they had a lot of white people on them deeds that own these schools, man. You know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, man, I think Deoin did an exceptional job at Jackson State. He's a man's man. I like the fact that he's grown from prime time to coach prime. I love the fact that he said ain't gonna be no hats, no earrings. No, I love that shit, man, because that's what like
Fred, he
I
said,
had to.
"I'm coming." He said, "I'm coming." He kept
I'm
telling the
coming.
boys, "I'm coming."
It's I'll tell you guys a story. Recently I had to start talking about Lincoln because he's growing into a young man and he's not 4 years old anymore. And I had to teach him about how he got to close his bathroom door now and don't come out of the room if you're not dressed anymore. You get what I'm saying? Like I really had to explain this to him because he's not a kid anymore. And I love the fact that that Deion Sanders, from what I can see, is having real-time conversations with these young men. And it's a beautiful thing to see, man, when a man is not with the bullshit, man. I love when grown men is not with the bullshit. I mean, it's especially publicly. You know what I mean? When you with your 3 or 4 friends, yeah, there's certain conversations that's not made for public consumption. And I'm one of those men. You understand? Like when the lights come on, Fred is 100% character. When the lights go off, yeah, I'm a do a little something. I'm gonna say a little something. But at the end of the day, I love the accountability in his voice, man. I love it, man.
Yeah. And then he
Love
had a
it.
kid. You can look up one of these videos too. There was a kid that was raised by his grandfather, and his grandfather was dying, and he told him, he said, "I want you to go to Jackson State, and I want you to go play for Deoin." He said, "It's not even about football." He said, "He's a man. I want you to be around Deoin, and I want you to, you know what I mean? I want you to be around that environment." You know what I'm saying? And his grandfather had passed away, and then he ended up walking on at Jackson State, and then ended up, getting a scholarship and stuff like that. And Deoin looked at him and had tears in his eyes. He's like, "This is why I do it for," and stuff like that. So he's a leader of men, and he got integrity, and that's what the old people, that's how I was raised, like with men, like, you know what I mean? That's how my dad raised me, like open conversation, but being truthful and being honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like, with integrity, like it's simple. But these are kids, they don't understand that no more. Like, you know what I mean? So people get mad. I'm like, it's not enough of him. If there was a more Deons around and people like trying to be like that, then I swear it'd be a better place in the Black community. Like easy.
That's why I said I rather a person be stern 100% of the time than a cool motherfucker. Like the cool motherfucker is lying. You know what I mean? Like
trying to keep up an image. Deon give it to you like it was. He just tell you, like, any dance, he do all that stuff. He'll tell you, like, you know what I mean? He tell you what it is. He failed at he had 2 marriages, he failed his kids, you know what I mean? He lost his kids, he tried to kill himself. He's an honest man. Like, you gotta love that about him, bro. He got a pure heart.
Yeah. Jerry, any final words, man?
Listen to this. At Jackson State, Deion Sanders' annual base salary was $300,000. At Colorado, Deion Sanders' annual base salary is north of $4.5 million. That's a no-brainer. Even if the college he was at, Jackson State, gave him a $3 million raise, they'd still be $1.2 million under what he's going to get in his new job. And I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I just don't know a college like that.
We got to be competitive.
To pay that type of money, and plus you got to think it's job advancement. I mean, he goes there, if he has the same effect there in Colorado as he did at Jackson State, then you could be looking at a possible head coach, NFL head coaching job. So I get what you're saying, but I can't blame him at all.
No, I don't blame him. I really, really don't, man. And I think we got to prepare the table. Jackson, man, 100 years and you can't find $5 million. You ain't got no investments that you can't create $5 million. You ain't got no alumni. Anyways, go ahead, Jerry. Finish your closing remarks.
I mean, the fact that they were only paying them $300,000 kind of I don't know, at least for me, it kind of suggests what market that school is in. It may have been an unprecedented amount of money too, and I could be wrong about this. I didn't go to college, but I know plenty of people that did, and I think a lot of times when the alumni make donations to the colleges, they can, when they make substantial donations, they can kind of let them know, you know, we don't want this going to the sports department. We want this going to the arts department, or they can kind of delegate where they want that money to be put. And I don't know, you know, I don't really know enough about it, but just looking at the basic raw numbers and the investment, it's a no-brainer to me. And, you know, bless him, God bless him for doing what he did while he was there. And if his heart is there, like the other guy's saying, he's probably still going to be involved to some degree to try to help out, I would imagine. And that's maybe as good as it's going to get there, you know, for it. So, you know, who knew? I didn't know that guy was that type of coach. Yep. So, you know, he's looking at being an NFL coach 3 years from now, and to go and get damn near $5 million a year in the meantime, shit.
Yeah, he said he had never coached in the NFL. He only do college. He said he had never ever coached in the NFL.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, he said he had never coached in the NFL. They already got the money. They're entitled. He said he had never coached in the NFL. But, you know, like, you know, but what was crazy about it, like, you got to think about the blessings too. Like, you know, that AD at Jackson State was a young black guy too. Now he got Deoin in there. He's successful now. He's going to venture off and get him a bigger job in one of them big colleges one day or something like that. Like, he helped so many people with resources and help that community. You got to think about the bars and all the little stuff, like the food places, the barbershops. Like, I mean, he generated a lot of money for people, man. They should just be thankful for that guy. And I think people should really celebrate him, man, because, you know, there ain't too many people like, you know, Deion Sanders around like that anymore. You know what I mean? The lead man, he's a rare breed. Like, you know, a lot of them guys ain't here no more. You know, you get clowns like Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, and all these, you know, all these clown dudes. Like, you know, Deion's only the last few guys that got integrity, man, with this stuff when it comes to this.
Nah, you're right.
That's all I got, Fred.
I wouldn't rule out just because he said he wouldn't. Ray Leonard went to a Marvin Hagler fight purposely to say that he'd never fight Marvin Hagler, and then he turned around and fought him in his very next fight. And this has happened, you know, Oscar used to say he'd never fight Fernando Vargas, and he did. You know, all he's got to do to get out of that is say, hey, you know, I was still learning back then, and I've grown as a man, and yak. And, you know, if he can get $5 million at a college, man, if he has the type of success at that college as he did at the other one, imagine what he could get as a head coach.
Yeah,
I don't doubt that he didn't say that, and maybe you're probably right. Maybe he won't, but I wouldn't rule it out just entirely just because he said that at some point. Especially when you consider the lack of head coaches in the NFL that are black. He might have a chance to represent there in a capacity if he's the coach that he appears to be. And being a former player, you gotta like that because he can recognize talent, and he probably knows how to relate. You know, he's a pretty cool cat, so he probably knows how to relate to these young guys a lot better than what some other coaches might be able to. Yeah.
No, you're right, man. You're right. And I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, Jerry.
Okay, guys. Y'all have a good night.
I appreciate you, Jerry. Thank you, dog. Yeah, man. I know other people gonna be mad, and I was interested in you guys beaming in, sharing your side, but I'm pretty sure this won't be the last. And I appreciate you, Tavion, and oh man, for coming through. And yeah, man, it's if we looked at it from and I appreciate you, Drew, as well. Thank you, Drew, for coming through. I'm thankful we got 3 years out of him, man. And I'll say this: from this point forth, you should only complain if you did the right thing at 100%, man. I think black people or impoverished people or people that are looking up at the world, if you didn't do your best, then why are you complaining? I think Jackson State could have did a little bit more. 100 years and you still poor? Come on, man. You know what I mean? I will never complain about someone not hiring my son or daughter. I'm not. Matter of fact, I don't think you guys have ever seen me complain. You know, I don't complain. I just make it happen. You know, I didn't get on here and complain. I never complain about YouTube. I don't say, hey, like it or hit the not the cash app. What is it called? The super chat. Or I'm not really a complainer. I'm 100% doer. You know, I'm a solution-based man. I turned down a lot of money from Warner Brothers. My first look deal was in the millions. I turned it down and I created my own movie. I created my own budget and created my own movies, you know, and I think that's what we got to be, solution-based as it pertains to what we want out of life. Don't get mad and stand in front of a restaurant and complain and boycott and say, why you won't feed me? I think that's the most embarrassing thing. We gonna stand in front of a restaurant that's serving hamburger and fries. A restaurant is serving hamburger. This is how low black people are. And yeah, I'm talking about black people. We gonna boycott a hamburger stand. Come on, think about this shit. Whatever restaurant it is. It could be sushi. It could be filet mignon. It could be spaghetti. We gonna boycott a restaurant? I understand, hey, this is the restaurant that won't serve me. I'm taking my money and my friends and we're going elsewhere. I'm not going to sit there and complain. You won't feed me. You won't feed me. You let them in. They had shorts on. I got shorts on. Why you won't let me in? Hey, they won't let you in the club. Don't ever go back to that club. You got a phone. You got an Instagram. They won't let me in this club. I'm not complaining, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know they won't let me in this club and y'all go as usual. I'm not going to sit here and complain. I'm going to another bar. I'm going to another restaurant. You understand? And I think we got to be more like that. and buy me lunch. You know, that's all I'm saying. What we gonna get out the deal? Free food? You know, so and why would you want to eat there after you complained and boycott? That's why I never send food back. I very rarely do I send food back. Dre will tell you, nah, I'm good. Hell nah, I don't. You're a human. I don't trust you. Nah, the steak is cold. Nah, I'm good. I'm cool. I'm good. I'm too afraid. You know, shit. Nah, I'm good. So, Jackson State should have been ready. Now, Southern or somebody else is going to get another opportunity. We're going to get lightning in the bottle again. Maybe it's LeBron James. Maybe it's Bronny James. Maybe he goes to. Maybe it's Master P. He becomes a college coach at the level. You know, but we got to be prepared. Okay, we got to set the table. It's very, very important that we set the table. You know what I mean? Don't go empty-handed expecting everything. And I think that's our problems. Every black man complaining. What are you going to do so this doesn't happen again? Are you going to donate to an HBCU? I see a lot of people complaining, you know, and it's a beautiful thing, man. And I'll let you guys in what I'm going to do. And this was long before Deoin, right? My goal is to have a high school program by the time Lincoln is in the 6th grade. And I think Lincoln, because if Lincoln has my genetics, he's going to be a hell of a basketball player, right? And I'm putting myself in position where I have power. The same way Deoin did it, the same way Danny Garcia dad did it, the same way Mr. Haney did it. Avery Johnson should go back. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like let me explain something. The resources is there. We got to exploit the resources. Like, for example, people say, oh, they using you, Fred. How about we use each other? Fair exchange is no robbery. So they say even exchange, but fair exchange is no robbery, man. And I think we got to, I think Deoin gave him a great 3 years, man. A great 3 years. And all we can say is thank you. If we stay on the first floor, we're going to be like, man, he sold out. Well, Jackson State didn't buy him. He had to sell out because Jackson State didn't buy him. Jackson State had 3 years to find the money for Deoin. You got 1,000 days. What can't a man or a woman do in 1,000 days? You can graduate from college. You can build a house. You can graduate from high school. You can build a car. You can make a baby. You can build a business. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse Jackson State can give me. How the fuck can you say ain't no money? You had 3 years to create a fund for Deion Sanders. That's all I'm gonna say. And that's just the truth, man. And I stand on that. And I applaud Deoin because I believe his heart is in the right place. He's still an athlete to me. So I don't see him as like a leader of the black community. I see him as a black man that's doing right by those kids. You understand? And I applaud him for what he's doing. He's been honorable the past 3 years, and I'm with it. You're going to get the same Deoin. You're going to get the same athletes. You're going to get the same rappers and all of them. They going to Colorado now, and it's no fucking crime. Friday night, a 22-year-old student was murdered at Jackson State. I'm taking my daughter or son out. Nah, you going to USC. I don't give a fuck how much it costs. You going to USC. You get what I'm saying? Anyways, man, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. See you guys tomorrow night. We'll talk more about Deoin tomorrow, I'm sure. Feel free to bring it back anytime this week. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all, man. I'll let y'all.